Now it's working.
Yeah. Why? Why would that
I
be?
don't know. Click on there. Yeah,
Oh, what? That makes no sense.
it's good now. But you got some echo from somewhere.
From Facebook.
Okay.
I can hear
We
myself.
done goofed. Sorry, guys.
That is
Everyone's like,
really
we trolled
weird.
everyone because we talked for like a good 10 minutes with no mic. Jeez, that's good anyway. Saves strength and embarrassment.
right.
Just
So
kidding.
Johnny was basically teaching me art. You guys didn't miss too much, or I should say, you guys didn't miss anything at all. Let me refresh my stream. Hey, what's going on?
Hey
Attila?
guys.
Aluminum is here. Humano is always here. How you guys doing tonight, man? Well, there's a lot of chatter already. Greetings. Oh, Jamron Blackguard from the our
Yeah, he changed his
Discord.
name. He was there before.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Now it's weird because I usually don't recognize people on the stream. I only recognize people on the Discord. James Arkwright is in the house. I'm just gonna paint today, and what I'm painting is the thing that you see on the screen, and it's not very good. So I'm just trying to get Johnny's help, and let's solve some problems on this.
Is it still?
painting.
Is people still saying stuff about it? Mute is that earlier?
Oh, this is earlier. That was just
Okay.
scrolling up to
Maybe-
see if I missed anything. You know
Yeah. Your feed's not showing on this though.
why?
I don't know. See, it says awesome. I think it's working though. Let me check on here.
Yumano, your submission did not get to me. The messages literally show up as these really weird yellow boxes, and it says this user has to get account verified or something like that. So you gotta fix that, man. Okay, now we're good. Audio is okay, guys. Just making sure that we're not like freaking out again. Oh dear, what am I gonna do with this?
Hold on.
What's up?
Okay, art is working. Just checking from here. Nice. Good.
Canadians or Californians, are there any difference? Which one's more progressive? We're the not so progressive one.
What's an American?
Something I read about in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, we're from Ontario, California. From my short experience with LA and San Fran and California, I love it. You guys have this golden warm tint wherever you go. Wherever we have here.
Basically, they're not very good at being vampires.
Right, exactly. They really do get those golden sunsets, like tropical golden sunsets.
We had a pretty nice one just now.
Yeah. It's pretty nice, but we have like a desaturated filter on for
Yeah.
most of the day.
Yeah. That's because we like subtle colors. We don't like to be in your face all the time. We don't like to be so over the top and, flamboyant.
Are you kidding me? Where was it you that was someone that was showing me this waistcoat, velvet waistcoat, and
It's not velvet.
well, okay, what's that patterning thing called?
It's a waistcoat. I think it's, I don't know. Actually, I don't know the official name for it. I guess you could say it's a gothic pattern.
Gothic pattern. It's a gothic pattern. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna struggle on this painting for a bit and just pretty much chat with you guys tonight. I think we had a pretty long week last week. Johnny was just working away,
I still am.
tired, and
This whole week is gonna be a pretty
but Johnny's very good with that stuff.
easy.
He's not even grumpy. He's no more grumpy this week than any week where he's like jolly and happy. Which means he doesn't really complain.
I complain in the moment. It just doesn't last long. Like when I get feedback, I'm like, "This is bullshit," and then I go on.
Yeah,
go on with my life.
But you say that about every feedback, so
Yeah.
like we're used to that now. At this point, you just like, oh, it's bullshit, and then you go do it. You know, which I respect that. You know, I respect that. Y'all should be like, you should be more like Johnny. Johnny's like really good with that, y'all. So you notice I'm painting small now. I was painting about like this size, and I'm on just standard size screen, but I really need to make it smaller. You guys can't really see, but
No, I'm just a dandy for free, James.
you don't like the yellow, right? The yellow is a little fucked.
The yellow's fine, but it does kind of feel out of place.
It's a
It
bit
might be
fucked.
cool if you just remove all that light and
Oh.
have it all dark.
You know what? I'm gonna remove all the yellow, and I might try a little bit of red, because we got red in it.
Try no light there first. I'm curious. Just like paint over it really quick on a new layer.
I have which new layer? You mean like layer 72 or layer 102?
Well, what you do is you paint on a new layer to see if it works, and then if it works, you just merge down, and you keep going. See, look, I think this is already gonna make it a lot better.
I'm ready to blow my mind.
I'm going through creative illustration again, and I'm re-evaluating my life because Loomis is so on point.
You're reevaluating your life already?
Yeah. Well, like even the very beginning of the book, he's like everything starts with a line, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't use line enough.
Okay. I'll just admit that I did not think about lines too much in this painting, which is probably why it still looks like a messy bowl of dog dinner. Like those dog dinner that
You can probably leave the ones in the far background, but anything that's like closer up.
I'm struggling with cleanliness. Like I always paint in this such a messy way that's really good for, I guess, getting space and whatever set up, but it's really bad for keeping anything clean.
Anti-government Steve says, "Why does Frank bully Johnny so much?"
What? Why is my what?
He says, "Why does Frank bully Johnny so much?"
Oh, it's because it's fun.
Yeah.
Man, have you tried?
I react to it, so you know.
It's just Johnny doesn't even get mad. Are you like serious? Who's not gonna do this? If you get the chance, like, hey, I take care of Johnny sometimes, man. So like, I get the, what's it called?
He has the bully card.
I can get away with it.
Swipe it whenever he wants.
That's my meaning. So don't y'all be jealous.
Yeah, I'd be jealous.
Benny, what you doing?
Oh, I forgot what I was doing. Just get rid of the yellow, man. What am I doing?
Yeah, just get rid of it.
Just get rid of it, man. Soft brush all over the place. Who cares?
Having a couple yellows here and there though doesn't look too bad.
It's not gonna be too bad, but I'm not.
Like I like that one on that weird sign thing. I don't know what that is, but
I don't know either. That's the thing. That's why my paintings are hard to fix. Cause just there's no lines.
man, the reflections on the buildings are crazy right now. You still see that far one? I still like some sun on that one. Everything else is like dark, but there's that one. The window thing might be blocking you, but
No, isn't that just light coming from within?
no, that's a reflection.
What?
It's so weird. No, because if the light was coming from within, it would be like a lot dimmer.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the buildings all around it, they're just
It's a
like
lot
little
dimmer.
specks.
Yeah.
That's like all along.
Oh my god.
The glass reflecting light.
I think I got the yellow from looking at that, just from
Yeah.
looking outside the window. Evening, guys. If you're just joining in, this is the Talent Tree live stream. I'm your host, Frank Hong, and we're doing environment painting today. The handsome guy with long hair you see is Johnny Hall. I bully him every week.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna tilt this. Get more tilted. There. Get tilted, guys.
Ooh. I get rid of that yellow. I get rid of all yellow. Oh my god. Get rid of all this yellow. And bring in some blue. So, I want to ask you guys a question. I'm usually these days just spending my stream time painting, but I want to know how long do you paint in a day usually?
What?
Like,
Oh, yes.
if you were to paint today, how many hours can you do it without,
Dying.
without dying, I guess? That was gonna be my question.
You do this, you do that, yeah.
Barry London says 5 hours a day, at least 5 hours a day. That's a good amount of hours. Ideally, you would do 12. Ideally, I think. I'm not sure I can do 12. Nicholas says 8 hours plus whatever you do at home. That's also a large amount of hours. It's not a contest, obviously, but I'm just saying that some people have to paint a lot of hours.
It's not a race, but I'm winning.
Really? No, but you're probably winning in Crush. Johnny paints probably the most right now.
Jin says, I don't think you can maintain it to 12 hours a day through literally nothing but painting. You need time to reflect on your paint as well.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to
Like,
be able to reflect sometimes.
This is not too serious, guys. Like if you're sitting down looking at your painting and you're like, contemplating, you count that as painting time. Like anytime that you're in front of your computer and you got your painting open, I think is fair play. But I'm not asking this question to start a race or anything. I'm only saying because these days I paint less and less, so my actual painting time is so valuable that I try to just push through as much as possible. You know what I mean? It used to be that if I hit something like a obstacle, this part I just really can't get right, I don't really know what to do. Nowadays I just power it right through. I don't let it stop me. I usually get really frustrated now, 3 hours in and it still looks like shit, something like that, and then I bug Johnny.
Yeah, see, those yellows actually look pretty good now.
They look like city lights now.
Yeah.
They don't look like weird opening gashes or whatever. Okay, so that's the layer where I painted out the yellow. It does look a lot more.
Okay, you wanna
Unified.
start another revolution?
What?
Get rid of all those really bright blues.
Fuck. Let's do it.
But leave it down here
Hey.
where it's going off, but all along the tops and here near her arm and here, get rid of it.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
I got you. Let's go really graphical. See, the secret to painting well, I'm gonna give you guys a secret. And it's gonna sound like bragging. And I can't help it. But the secret is Johnny should be an every household item for painting. Like, it's just so good. It's basically like a spell check. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a spell check at home and you're like, hey, how does this look? You will paint pretty well, I guess. So my goal right now is to get rid of all the blues.
Almost all of them.
Eradicate the light blues.
Just the that really bright one.
Oh,
Everything
I got
else.
you. I got you. Don't worry about me. I got you. I know what you mean. Let me show you what I mean, baby.
Ziggy doo.
Ziggy doo. This is fun. It's like I'm using shapes to create lines, even though I'm not drawing in lines.
Yeah.
Precisely. No, Johnny's not for sale. That would never happen.
It's looking. Don't take away too much of it. Leave some of it, but remove that and that one.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I hate that. The softness of this thing. Just give me 1 second. Let me properly take away all the blues. I still remember how to paint environment. Let me just give it some foreground. Johnny, you're drumming.
Oops.
Did you not notice?
No.
Oh my goodness. Subconscious. Oh, I like greens much better. Now I'm gonna put greens everywhere. Gosh darn it. Somebody stop me here. Right, so this is a Talentry stream, and every Tuesday I struggle with environments, and you get to see it. And every Thursday, Johnny does his character magic, critiques and sketches, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you do?
I think we're coming up to some more Ravon time.
Oh, IP development.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't know what IP is, Johnny, can you tell them what IP is?
It stands for
IP'd.
intellectual property.
Intellectual properties. Sounds so fancy.
Yeah.
But what is it really?
The reason I use it is because it's so easy to just say IP.
Yeah.
Can you also remove that bright blue light that's on those like bridges going across?
Yeah.
Just make it one value. Not those ones, just these top few.
Oh yeah,
Just go across.
Of course. Of course. Anything for you, Johnny.
Yeah. Good.
I might just flatten this and redo those.
Mm-hmm.
Because No point.
Benny, what you doing?
It's funny. Whenever he finds like a hard corner of something, like a table or a chair or like a box, like a cardboard box, he like rubs his cheek on it. But he kind of looks at you while he does it too. It's a little weird.
I
What?
think he's trying to rub his teeth
Hmm?
against it.
Well, I'm gonna have to feed him soon. In half an hour.
Chin Bear Pig is in the house.
Yeah.
Watch me struggle with this painting. Oh, much better. So I think I have a problem with just putting light everywhere. Why is he biting my snippers? Don't bite my slippers. Okay. What else should I do, Johnny? This part is much more contained, yeah?
Yeah.
Should I do a fall off?
You can a little. I don't
Tiny
know.
bit.
I don't know how if that would change things or not. I guess you'd have to see.
Easy. Oh, I should just do the gradient.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
I did it on the same layer.
Benny strolling. It's a silly boy.
Oh yeah, Anuman says you should base an IP off of Benicio. Is Benicio in Brabant?
Maybe. I don't know if it's really working.
Probably not this much, I know. No. No, that didn't work. But that's okay. Let's get some blooming going on. How come I can't move my canvas? Jeez. What are you doing these days? Are you just playing Zelda?
And Zelda and working.
Yeah.
Zelda is to distress in between the work. That's pretty much it.
And it's working.
And it actually works. Most games, like, Zelda's a pretty easy game overall. Like, I don't know. There's a few things, like the Linos are kind of hard to fight, but overall the game's pretty easy, and it's a lot of walking and traveling, so it's pretty pretty nice. Before I was playing Dota in between, and I think that was making things worse.
Were you getting more stressed?
Yeah, a bit.
Oh dear.
So you have that big graphic shape right on our arm,
Yeah.
And then now you got to figure out where the contact wrinkles are, or where the geometry, and how those also wrap around in perspective.
Oh, that's no.
And you can use flats to work that out. I wouldn't necessarily you don't have to necessarily put it there, but like maybe just a couple around where the forearm meets the upper arm. So like,
how would that work? Oh, it would be like
one.
here.
It would the ones on like so they would. It depends on where the cylinders are going. So if her upper arm is going away from us, they'd wrap around according to that, and then it would be the opposite for the other part, and then you got to figure out where they meet, and then how the light creates lost and found edges. So you kind of abstract it a little. That's how you get those like zigzag S curves and stuff, but they wrap around the form.
Zigzag S curves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I probably can't do that.
See
so I'll
this?
just tell you.
It's just like, and you can kind of, because when the light comes on it, we see all this detail, but you can like get lost edges and just have shadow where it's wrapping around the form.
I see.
So like, I don't know. It's kind of.
Well, I'm not gonna.
I wouldn't worry too much.
I'm not gonna get it.
Probably have a little more hitting her upper. If there's that much light hitting her arm, you're probably gonna have a little bit hitting some of her
Jacket?
torso. Yeah. Nothing too crazy, but just a little. Yeah, that's not bad.
Like, I have to find where that goes.
Yeah. The more simple your geometry is, the easier it is to figure it out.
Okay, so maybe it doesn't hit all that. Maybe this is more like side.
That's pretty cool. So also another thing too to note, because this is because of the material of her jacket, you probably want to get those bright reds in there, but because of the material of her jacket, you're gonna have to model out the plane that's being foreshortened on the cylinder that's on the other side of the light source. So like right here, you've got shadow and light. There would actually be a little bit of shadow on that side as well. But I'd be careful what value you place that at. It's going to be closer to the light value, but it's going to be different so that you get that little bit of a feel of specularity and that cylindrical form.
You mean right on the other side?
Yeah. Even on edge light, you're still going to see that a little sometimes.
Really? So that's basically
I would even push it more. I would even push that shape a little bigger. But make it like follow the geometry, yeah.
So it has to be. Basically, it's the form folding away.
Yeah.
Like wrapping around.
Yeah, because it's if it's like cylindrical, if you would have that if it was like really really low poly geometry where it's just light and then like shadow and that's it. But if you have more cylindrical forms, there's gonna be that form turning away. That's gonna be catching some light, but because it's foreshortened, it's gonna seem like. Anyways, it's
Okay.
And even you can even take that same value that you used for that form turning and run a little line of it in between the shadow and the light where they meet to get like a little bit of edge change. So just like just grab the value there, the mid-tone, not the light, and just make like an edge
underneath.
No, where the light meets shadow. Yeah, all the way down. So already like it's pretty subtle, but you're starting to get like a little bit of
the softness of it.
A little bit. Well, just like that plane change, and that's usually kind of all you need. And you'd probably have like a few wrinkles come across too. Honestly, though, for her jacket, I would just pull up reference just to see how the wrinkles wrap around, because that always helps.
Almost like a leather jacket.
Jin is asking, Frank, when designing mechanical or the complex stuff, do you take broad forms and refine down, or do you do designing around cool mechanical shapes you've seen before?
I should first of all study mechanical forms, because my design language for the mechanical stuff is really not enough. So working with references as much as possible is great. but not just like copying it exactly, but actually finding a bit of pattern, which means you pull like a lot of references for it, like a whole folder, and then you see what's like, you would simplify, right? So you would look at it and try to digest it by doing a little bit of sketches and be like, oh, this is the shape for the joint, or that's the shape for the cables, or these are the things, and then you work big to small. Like you get the major structures down first, then try to implement some of the more realistic, like small details that gives you that kind of, oh, this machine looks like it'll work, like, you know. Because when you design a mechanical part like sci-fi and whatever, you have to use certain amount of real things so that the audience can get what it is. They can understand and relate to it. Like, you know, they can know that, oh, this is this technology. I kind of seen it before. If you design a mechanical part where you just like warps like a snake and it doesn't do anything that people expect it to do, you would lose the audience. That's what I think. Oh, gee. I think I spent a lot of time on this painting with it going nowhere. Getting some of that yellow back in there.
That's pretty cool.
Probably wouldn't go with the blue all the way through. Just a little bit is enough.
It's nice.
Like,
yeah, I like how those bridges in the background are more like got that light atmosphere going on, because the lighting's like really blown out.
Light atmosphere?
It's cool. Like how the bridges in the background more are like the shadows are brighter as well.
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
that I meant to do that. That I meant to do. Everything else I'm not so sure.
Hey Trip. Barry Lyndon's going to the beach. Sounds fun.
The beach.
We just had rain all day today, which I like. So it was a good day. Not really beach weather though. Yeah, get rid of that.
Get rid of all that blue.
Do you want to try something really, really quick just to see?
Yeah, of course.
Lasso your skyline and change the background to like pink, fading to blue.
I would love that. I love the way that sounds.
So that would be a way to throw some more of those reds into the background, but like a little more desaturated and cooler. Because I feel like that the light that's gradating like that just feels like really unnatural.
Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah. That's why I make the shape, and then I'll work over in increments, so every time it jumps like that, I can just Control Z it and then go.
I'm gonna bust out the pen tool. Oh no, now there's this.
Yeah, pen tool's dope.
Bust out that pen tool. I don't always use my pen tool, but when I do, I zoom in a lot.
Meow? What? Oh, really? What else? Yes? Is that all? Oh, even more. What else? He's done. Have you had your say, young man?
They're having a full scholarly discussion over Benicio's dinner.
I disagree. You're a fat boy and very greedy. All you do is eat food and sleep. What do you think this is? This isn't Dandyland.
Say maybe it is.
No, Jamaron, I haven't heard about that painter, although I should. Do you know the traditional painter Claude Lorraine?
I'd have to see it.
Yeah, traditional's great. Traditional's usually make selection there. Want me to do a gradient?
Yeah. You probably have to try a few different colors to see how it looks. Maybe a little brighter. Ooh. And a little more desaturated. Not too, like going more to, I don't know. Maybe that's fine.
Lighter.
I feel like that's a very, like, yeah. Yeah, it feels better.
It
And then maybe
glows.
can you hue shift slightly at the bottom to more orange? Yeah.
Do I need to bring
And a
down?
little slightly brighter.
This is just to simulate that sunset.
Yeah.
Maybe just a touch over
Touch,
here.
yeah. So that's the best way I found to hue shift from warm to cool is to actually just move along the color thing.
Move warmer.
Well, I think you're okay now.
What if I blow them up? What if
I
I
think it's
just overdo it?
That looks kind of cool. That can work. I feel like that might even be better.
Oh, maybe not that much.
But yeah.
But I
it's a
need
bit-
to. I do need to take away more blue of the painting. It's almost all blue, so a little bit of red.
Well, because the thing is, when you're painting in red and blue, if your blues are really blue and your reds are really red, they're both gonna feel like there's a lot of color going on. But if your example for like if your red is more saturated and your blue is very, very desaturated, it's still gonna feel very blue. You can even have stuff that feels blue even if it's just desaturated reds. So it's like the relative color thing.
I think having a brighter in the back is pretty cool. Like right here.
Mm-hmm.
This has been pretty helpful.
Ooh.
What did I do?
That.
You like
I
this?
Like that, yeah. That's trippy.
Yeah.
It's not super accurate, but it looks really sick.
It's more magenta, I guess, in there.
That's dope. Because that feels like it also like you create like more interest now around the image.
Yeah.
Like the you got the red from the bike, the red from her hair, and then the red in the background. It's pretty sick.
What happened? I was supposed to make a mask, and then I think my Photoshop froze. Oh, jeez. What?
Oh, is that?
What
Jesus
is
Christ.
happening?
EP10 needs to chill out. Oh, I'll show you. Hold on.
Wow, that's really sharp.
Yeah.
That's really sharp.
And my friend Aaron is also killing it. He's doing some design stuff, form language things.
Oh, nice.
See how good they read from like so tiny? And then when you go in, you start to see like, oops, a little more juicy stuff going on.
More lines, more shapes.
Yeah, but the big
Silhouettes.
shape works well, so that
Mm,
even from like a distance, they read really good.
that's cool.
I was watching him do a few of these actually. It's really cool. Aaron is the boy.
I need to bring down on some blues.
Ooh, juicy.
Yeah, because you need a silhouette against that.
This blue doesn't seem to make sense to me up there. Like, why?
Because it probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just flatten those parts. They don't need to be there.
Nice.
Now the values are much more controlled. Because before I was painting with the hard brush, but the thing with the hard brush is I get shapes and light almost everywhere. But I think if I do this, I can slowly go in to sculpt out the details.
Mm. Well, you use the flat brush to set up your base, and then you can go into render from there.
Yeah.
Kind of like that bike.
Yeah?
Are you basing it a little bit off like a bike mixed with the mech design?
Yeah.
That's nice. I love those, man. I love like lines on stuff, like almost like hatching lines, but on hard surface. It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, I'm gonna feed Benny, and I'm also gonna eat.
Benny? Hungry? Hungry?
So happy. Photoshop's really slow.
It's getting really close to class time. It's like Sunday.
Yep. Class.
I went by too fast. I was like, yeah, you know,
Still got time.
just chill. Yeah. It's gonna be good. The studio's almost set up.
Yeah. Bought all the furniture, setting up the studio. Class begin this weekend. So if you're signed up, we'll see you very soon. Captain Patterson is now following. Thanks, Captain, for the follow. Alright. Now, what are we gonna do? I'm pretty much just cleaning up shapes, fixing up the painting a bit. Now that I have general lighting. Oh, press the wrong button. Everything start with lines. So because everything starts with lines, at this stage I really have to think about what are the lines that's gonna carry the shapes over. So when the edges meet, it creates a line. Like all these are gonna be lines. And let's make this just a little bit brighter down here. Gonna bust out the square brush to get some nice silhouettes on top. I'm thinking about where the light's coming from. So everything from the top, this is gonna be silhouetted and really kept dark. But when it gets to the bottom, around this light source, the surfaces of the building are they will start to reflect a little bit. So I'm just taking my time, working on the top, fixing some silhouettes, and then I'm gonna come down here to break up the shapes a bit. Oh yeah, on YouTube, because that's more like archive. On Twitch is like we respond to more of a live audience. We have very few viewers on the YouTube one for live, and also it's hard to check 3 places at once because we're broadcasting to Facebook also. So, painting cityscapes. You'll notice that cityscapes have a lot of lights. It's a work all in itself to just simplify that and try to make sense of things. Because if we start painting with too many lights, the painting will start to look not very cohesive, very messy. The thing I really focus on is having some smaller shapes where the distance are, like how it leads into the distance. The buildings get smaller, shapes get smaller, lines are more broken up. But when it comes to the foreground, I think bigger shapes, more continuous lines. And get some reflections and putting that blue somewhere on the side of the buildings. So in this type of environment painting, where everything's hand painted, I'm just really smashing shapes together and trying to find some kind of pattern. You know, these shapes and lines, they're there to suggest things. They suggest like bridges, facade, buildings. You're not really zooming in to paint anything, but how these shapes will kind of suggest a story, suggest things happening, buildings, lights. Futurescapes are hard. Do you use modern science and over-exaggerate it? Yeah, well, simplifying is the word. Not over-exaggerating it, but simplifying. And also, the thing I'm painting is just, it's not really, you know, really like science fiction. It's more like just weird shapes. Like I'm creating a world, a city for my own story. So I don't need to really adhere to any real building structures or anything like that. But skyscrapers still have to read like skyscrapers, and highways have to read like highways. So there's a certain amount of current day-ish things in there, so that the people can relate to it right away. Say like, this is a road. We all know what a road is. Or here's a bike, we all know what a bike is, but how that bike looks, you can take certain amount of liberty with it, without people, without losing your audience. Because we're struggling to find believable but good design. Like good design is really hard. It takes years and years of observing, understanding, and some people would even argue that good taste it's really hard to train. Like it sometimes cannot be trained, but that's really just, you know, doing more research, knowing what you like. It's really important, and then comes design. You know, just have to really understand what you're trying to design. To really understand what is it that you're you're trying to convey.
Good, Frank.
Thanks, man.
Let's see if there's any questions real quick.
I think I answered the last one. Should put my grid up. I have a grid that I
It
don't.
says, hey Frank and Johnny. Also, Craig Mullins is saying that we don't respond to comments on YouTube Live.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah, we just don't have that many open windows. Okay, there we go. You'll notice that my buildings and things kind of went out of perspective. I have to check with the grid again. When I'm eyeballing it, it's not always accurate. And when it's not accurate, the space just looks and feel off, because perspective is so important that anything that looks a little bit off, people can detect it, and then your space will lose credibility, like how things move towards the distance, or how these lines converge. Like this part, I'm losing my depth because the lines are not following the perspective, so I have to fix it. And it's not like a hard thing to fix. It just needs a little bit of patience, and it takes a grid. Like your perspective needs to be so on point, otherwise there's no real space that's being established. So see where the 1 point perspective leads back to that one dot? I just need to get smaller and smaller shapes and have the top of the buildings with the curvatures follow this grid. Yeah, if we can think paintings into existence, that would be great. But I have a feeling that's coming at some point. Because you know AIs, I don't know if you guys are familiar with AlphaGo, but that's like that's a AI, that artificial intelligence that just plays Go, right? The game. But a basic AI like that can already have such a, can be so much better than a human intelligence in playing Go, that it's beating the world masters right now in Go. Just let that sink in for a bit. A game where you can put a piece and have almost infinite amount of possibilities. It's just really, it's really mind-boggling how AI, computers usually solve problems by brute force, and there's like certain ways and patterns, but this one has to think. This one has to have almost like a real intelligence, where it eliminates, it thinks, it processes, and then it comes back at you, which is why it makes it so difficult to beat. I'm just thinking, yeah, we're artists, our jobs are not gonna be replaced by robots right away, but at which point? At which point is it gonna go away? At which point is humans all gonna get basic income and have robots just take all of our jobs? You know what I mean? I was thinking about that since we're like painting sci-fi and all. I just figure it's pretty relevant. Like, art is pretty hard. We spend like years just studying very basic things and still not have mastered it. Like there's very few people that have mastered the basics, the fundamentals of art. Something so important that everybody studies it, but few people have actually mastered it. Just think about that for a moment. What if a computer program can master it? Just like AlphaGo, how it's literally beating the world masters. That's it. That's a little bit incredible. That's a lot incredible. That's a big deal. What am I talking about? Let's not kid ourselves. That's really something. Just think of the like, robots are usually designed to do one function, right? A robot that does a million functions, or sorry, not a million, maybe like a robot that does 10 functions, like it passes your butter, but it can also change the oil on your car and run up and down the stairs really quickly. I would think that robot will be really hard to build. In the same way as as a person, if I'm thinking that I'm just going to be really good at this one thing, and I'm going to spend all my time on it, right? And suddenly a computer is better than me at it. If I spend my whole life on this one thing, and then the robot comes in and be like, I can do that better than you, wouldn't that be pretty upsetting? Is that upsetting to people? I'm just really thinking about how is everyone gonna react when robots, when I guess corporations. The robots don't have a mind of their own just yet. But what if corporations start replacing human with robots? Because it'll happen, and it's already happening. You go to McDonald's nowadays. They have these machines there where you can order by clicking on the screen, right? There's two reasons for it to be there that I know of. I think one is because people are more antisocial. Like, some people rather look at their phones than to talk to people. Like, I'd rather order books online rather than go into the bookshop to. It's not like antisocial, but it's like just a matter of your routines nowadays. Like, people grow up not having to interact with people as much. Like, people don't have to learn how to talk to girls. You just go on Tinder. Well, I guess you still have to know how to talk to girls, but the game is different now. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, our lives are so different from how our parents grow up that their advice based on their version of the world is a little bit outdated unless they keep up with it. Which puts us in a really awkward situation, because if you spend all of your life on one skill and then you grow up and you went to university, you went to high school, and then you finish tutorial, and then what's the next step? Like, get a job, right? And then you realize your college degree and your university degree doesn't really help you that much in getting the job that you want. Why? What happened? Why did our parent tell us to go to universities and get a degree because that's how you get a job, and then when we come out and there's no jobs? What happened? Right? Robots are not here yet. And yet, humans can find jobs. Jin asked Frank, if I could become a robot, would I become a robot? No. I think if I was a robot, I would wish to become human. I think I am a human. I don't think I want to become a robot. Unless being a robot means I'll never have to be anxious. You know, like I'm just mechanically zen all the time. But then how would life be like, you know? If you go to the grocery store and you never have to wonder what you're gonna eat tonight, like you already know, like you never have to think again. Don't really know if that's how I want to live. But maybe that's not how being a robot is. Maybe being a robot is totally awesome and I'm just, you know, hating as usual. Nothing new here. Right? Eating will still be nice. If you're gonna be a robot, you would still want taste, right? You will still want to be able to eat and like process this fine flavor of your food that you spend $50 on. Otherwise, it's like a huge part of being a human that's just gone. Like, there goes eating for the rest of my life. And there goes sleeping. Having thought about it, I think being a robot, it's such a trade-off. Like, you don't have to sleep anymore, which is awesome. Because sleeping wastes so much time, man. We spend like 1/3 of our life sleeping and it's still not enough. We gotta sleep more when we're dead. So what's up with that? If it were up to me, nobody sleeps. But it's not up to me. So thank God. Everybody party all night and then they party all day again and then they come back and then they party some more. That would be the robot life I want to live. Or maybe I still have to go to work. Yo, going to work as a robot, how would that be? Like, do you just turn off your subconscious or do you I don't know. Never mind. Sorry. I apologize. We're going really like into, what's the word? Weird topic of the day. No. That's, I already have an IP. I think that is, it needs another layer. It does sound like something I can explore as an idea or a story, because living as a robot, like if on a daily life, that must be pretty monotonous. Like, how does a robot feel alive if they can't eat and they can't sleep? It'll just feel like me overworked or something, like maybe 2 months ago. Like, being immortal is such a weird thing. Obviously, none of us has really experienced it, so we wouldn't really know. But I just can't imagine if I was a robot, I would miss a lot of the pleasures that I used to have. Think about that for a moment. Pleasure. If you're a robot, do you still need pleasure? Like, do you still need ice cream? And is life worth living if you don't have ice cream? I know, for those of you that started watching us weeks ago, meaning from the beginning, you know that I used to kind of go like introspective and I talk about how it's like I'm having an existential crisis, and the reason for that is because I'm having a existential crisis. Like, Elon Musk is a really smart guy, right? So if he's like, oh, there's 1 in a billion chance that this is a base reality, then I have to start questioning everything I see. Not in a way like, is it real, but in a way of what's the real implications of this thing? Like, how much does it actually matter? And then I look into the sky, and then I realize it only matters to me. A lot of the things I worry about only matters to me. And that is a little funny, because then it means that it really doesn't matter at all. Like, if I'm a robot, I will be able to think that. If I'm a robot, I would think that, like, no, actually, I don't even know. I backtrack out of there, because I don't really. I need more time to like think about what I have to say, because I'm trying to paint and talk at the same time, and I think I'm just gonna do a jumble mess for both of them if I get too into the existential crisis talk. By the way, I'm just like, this is really light. I'm not like fully like into like. So if somebody offered me to become a robot, I would still turn it down. I'm not going there just yet. Right, yeah, humanoid, yeah, exactly, right? That's what I mean. You're all just NPCs, and I'm the player, and this reality is a simulation. That's why it only matters to me. That's the gist of the existential crisis. Like, is this just all a simulation? Like, how do you know you guys are physically here? That you could say anything right now, or I could just be talking to a screen like an idiot. Like, there's nobody on the other side. I can do anything right now, and you guys would have no idea. You guys have no idea what I could do. Never mind. This is a painting stream, and I am painting. Oh, can anyone in the chat, like, does anyone in the chat meditate? Can anybody teach me how to meditate? Because I said that I meditate, but I think I'm doing it wrong. I don't think I really meditate, because if I'm really meditating, I'd be really zen. I'd be like, you know, like what life is, I would have it more or less not affecting me as much. You want to watch me paint in person? It's not very hard. Just come to Talentry. Come to Talentry, I'll paint in person. You can watch all of us. Maybe we're fake. Maybe none of us are real. I'm kidding. Johnny's real. Johnny is very real. Ethan Walker says, "Hey Frank, hi France, not hey Frank, hi France,
Ethan.
hey Ethan." Yeah, Umano, that's exactly what Elon Musk said. If you tried VR right now, you know that this technology can simulate what you see at a very fundamental level. But what if this technology gets so good that you cannot tell physically that you're in another reality? Are the technology, first of all, are the technology gonna get that good?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. It's just like it has to progress, right? Like the technology is gonna not get worse. Like
There has to be a demand for it in some cases.
dude,
But
do you believe in 10 years that that computer technology is gonna be worse than it is today?
No, it'll be
It's
better.
impossible. It will be better. So
like some things do take longer. Computer tech is always going to, I think, develop crazy fast. Sometimes, but then we've seen how stuff like renewable energy progressed really, really slowly.
because people don't want to do it.
Where it could have been something that happened.
Because
like
we get
lot
a big
sooner.
fucking orange idiot saying that
But yeah.
climate
Orange idiot.
global warming
Orange monkey.
is fake. I'm
Wait,
like,
that's
it's a
infernal
hoax. I
monkeys.
mean, what? Hey, I'm a Canadian, but I would go over there and like have an argument with that guy. Are you kidding me? I still want to get to the point where VR can be real before climate kills us, right? So let's just at least be hopeful. I want to have a chance to turn into a robot. I think the robots are like the new zombies, man. You can make a game killing robots and nobody will feel bad. Seriously. But what's the fun of that? I dare you to make a game where you play as a robot and you kill humans. Or is it still cool to shit on humans? Like, are we ever gonna get offended? I'm offended. Oh, Destroy All Human, the PS2 game? Why, why every violent game in Germany? Does German make robot games killing humans?
Hey, you do?
Oh no, killing robots. Why? Don't get it.
They're training everyone for when robots take over. Very progressive.
Oh, smart. Because it's probably gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like we already know.
Mm-hmm. We already know too much.
Oh no, that light doesn't look good. Oh jeez. Solid dot this. probably need to find a reference for the jacket. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
leave it for now. I don't like this building because I don't know what it is. I think we're heading into a stage of life that is just really interesting, really different. What would happen if I bring some shapes over this way? No. Don't like it. So I turn on the grid to get some more lines here, so this is basically serving me as a guide. Since I'm painting just with shapes, if the shapes line up with the one-point perspective, it looks like it's falling in the distance.
Yumino says this painting reminds me of Frank.
Why?
Oh, I think I'm getting trolled.
I really don't know. I think a method where you think more before you paint is better than what I'm showing here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really sketch over my things. I'm just drawing with shapes. It's almost not designing. But if I were to sketch in, I still have a chance to do it. I mean, this isn't finished. This is nowhere close to being really finished. But I still have a chance to really just draw with lines, even messily, very messy. See, I messed up some lines because they're not following the perspective. Like all these lines, they were looking like they were doing something, but they're not following the perspective. So I need to get rid of them and line them up.
Line them up with the perspective lines.
Get them in line.
Jin is asking, Frank, do you watch any of your previous talent streams or videos and learn from yourself that way?
I try not to watch too much. It's really weird watching myself. It's super weird. It gets like I get self-conscious. Like I'm not like the most confident and outgoing kind of person. So like I don't just laugh about my mistakes, and like generally uh, generally like I'm a little bit more, I think, anxious personality. Like mistakes kind of hang on to me. I'll think about it for a little bit longer than people that just truly don't give a shit. Like I'll pretend like I don't give a shit, but really I do. It's like a soft, squishy little, uh, you know, mentality. But having said that, watching myself in previous videos has helped me like identify problems with the stream. Like basically I should watch it more, and I should watch other people that stream better, and then try to see the gap, the differences. But I guess if I do that too much, I get really self-conscious. And if I get really self-conscious, I can't really, you know, just naturally talk and perform and draw and paint. I just think about, oh, am I doing this right, or is this gonna be okay? And like I have to use my ineffective meditation kind of things to kind of push away my anxieties. That 10% of just pure garbage self-doubt, to just go on the streams and do my painting. If it's not going to turn out well, it doesn't turn out well. I'm not a good artist yet. Doesn't matter. But if I worry too much, I find it's really counterproductive. It's counterintuitive. So do I watch my streams? Yeah, sometimes, and just try not to do it too much.
Nicholas, we're gonna bring in more soon. He said
More
he
what?
likes. He said I likes when you guys bring in guests.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna have so many guests. You won't even believe. Because we're gonna be streaming very soon from the Talentry studio.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just setting up, but we're around Jarvis and Carlton Street. But Carlton is College Street, basically. So downtown Toronto. I'd like to invite whoever of you guys, if you're in Toronto, feel free to drop by. I'm just setting it up, so next week I'll make a post telling everyone about our address.
Why rendering it out so much? What do you want me to do? Do analysis. Try to get it guys. I feel like I lost somebody. Goodbye.
No axe wielding serial killers. Yeah, well, if this is a simulation, I guess that's game over. There's no axe wielding murderers in Canada, I'm sure. Maybe that's one of the reasons why our housing prices are so high.
To do this, because it doesn't actually really work. I'll go for it. It's like light coming from a few different places is not consistent.
Just paint Johnny's face on that Discord emoticon.
Hmm?
Here's Johnny. That face. Yeah, just getting along. So,
I think that yeah, I just hope he doesn't expect that kind of render from the rest of them. So it's pretty tight for what they are.
So this one. Sketch turn should be 3 hours each.
Yeah.
See if you get
for me, the line work is not a problem. It's for just putting color and render. That stuff takes longer. We probably finish the sketches in half an hour to an hour. So.
Well, a lot of details are nice. It's mostly the black and white. So it's nice to do. It's especially
Okay.
Yumino, that's fine. You don't have to jump around too much. In fact, I think the best way to get used to something is just to do it with volume. Do a lot of it. So if you're on environment for now and you're on environment for a while, just enjoy that. Just enjoy that process of sinking into there, because you'll come out learning a lot, even though you would have felt like it's a struggle and it's outside your comfort zone or something like that. But if you do it with volume and you do a lot of it, you might not see the improvement each step, but I guarantee you're gonna learn a lot by the end of the environment spree that you're on. The best way to learn for me has been just brute force. Just do it. Whatever I want to learn, I'll just do it shitty. And if I do it shitty enough times, it'll slowly become less shitty and less shitty.
I would avoid the hatching marks. They kind of like are convoluting the values and the shapes.
So this sci-fi escape. Did I just paint on the... Yes, I just painted on my grid. I'm a genius. I just painted on my grid. Fine.
Okay.
This whole color block thing is gonna kill me someday. Yeah, that's what. I suck at faces too. And I spent a long time just doing faces. And I still suck, but I suck slightly less now than I did before. Which is, I mean, it doesn't matter to anybody else, but to me, I'm like, okay, I suck less now. I found just a little bit more, what's the word? Reason to live. Oh, I squished her helmet. No. Why does it feel like she's... Nah, it doesn't look right. I'll fix it later. So, thanks for hanging out here with me, guys. I'm just painting this piece for my IP. Even though I don't know the full story yet. And I'm gonna be really careful about releasing any stories before it's ready. So painting a cityscape like this really is just painting blocks, like boxes, in perspective. That's all it is. These are just boxes with different shapes, with different silhouettes and details. But how it works is no different from any cube, any big cube boxes. And I'm able to kind of play around with light enough is just because the boxes shapes and how this the simplification of shapes helps me see. It helps me calculate the value and the lines I'm supposed to use to make this read right, to make this like look right to the viewers. Oh, Yumano, if you spend 3 to 4 hours on a painting and it doesn't look right or amazing, then that's normal. It's so normal that it's a daily occurrence. So instead of scrapping it and throwing it away, try to just put it away for a moment, and then as you paint more and more, you go back to it and look at it again. Because a lot of the issues that you're struggling with, if you just give it some breathing room and some time, and you go back, you'll know the answer on how to fix it, or at least like an idea, right? You don't have to, because it's for you, your own paintings. You're just trying to get good at art. You're not delivering for a deadline, so you don't need to push yourself to really finish anything that you're stuck on, because that's frustrating. It is. So whenever you're stuck, give yourself some room, just put it away for a moment and look for references. That usually helps. Look for references that's close to your kind of lighting that you want, your kind of form, your kind of design. And look at it and study it, because the more you do it and the more you do it with reference, the better you are going to get at it. And don't think that you have to paint more than your just like 3 to 4 hours is really good. That's a really good time frame each day to paint. Like if you're painting 3 to 4 hours a day every day, you're gonna get really, really good. There's no need to really push for much more, unless you're in a groove. Then sure, yeah, of course. Or if you work professionally as an artist doing like I don't know what, then your painting time is kind of guaranteed that you have to paint that much a day, but it's not your personal work. 3 to 4 hours on a personal work, I would probably equate that to maybe many more hours of professional work, just in terms of your own learning and enjoyment, and just, I don't know, like you get more of doing your personal work. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I spend a lot of hours on film sets, and I really don't think I'm getting better as an artist doing those. I think I'm getting better as a technician, really. But yeah, I follow Fenzu. Actually, Fenzu is one of the first concept artists that I followed for his Nomen videos. And the first time I watched his video, I'm not even a concept artist. Like I'm a punk out of high school, and I'm watching Fenzu videos and think, hey, concept art, man. I mean, Fenzu probably got me into this business because of those videos. And I watched it and I was like, I want to do this. And then I just went and researched more videos. Dylan Cole, another great map painter, his No One videos also changed my life, because just initially the kind of technique that an environment artist needs to know, and what I know, I really have not watched too many tutorials in my life. I should have watched more. I wish I was more patient. But just the videos from Fin Zhu and Dylan Cole and a few other good folks, just a few videos have taught me enough techniques that I need to work on for just like a really, really long time, that I don't feel like I need anything fresh, need anything like a secret, like a shortcut or anything. I just practice these same techniques, in that few hour video, and that's pretty much all I need for environment, at least to just get going, right? And that's kind of the same mentality that I carry over, and now I'm trying to teach to my students, is that you don't need to get fancy, but you do need to get proficient and good. It's not about the kind of shortcut you can take. It's just being patient and draw and paint and problem solve, do it over and over again, and think about your own personal art. Think about it, do it until you're happy with it, and then do more of it. Yeah, there's just watching other people paint is a good motivation. It makes me want to paint myself. So like tutorials, painting videos, live streams, even, just it gives you a sense of that other people are doing this with you. There are more people doing this with you. So if you want to get better at art, you surround yourself with people who are good at art. That's how this thing works. You get motivation by borrowing power and drive and motivation from other people. It's very hard for just one person to just summon up all you need to succeed and to get better. It's really hard. So that's why we do it as a team. You do it as a team, you do a little bit better. So guys, I'm gonna get wrapped up here. Have another 5 minutes to go. Don't think I can make too much difference here, but I'm just gonna wrap up this painting. Hope you guys had a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. I always appreciate it. Feels like I'm not painting alone. We're not doing art just all by ourselves. We're supporting each other. so we can all get better at art. I'm really excited to show you guys more on this IP I'm doing. It's been hard to find time, not gonna lie. So I'm trying to find time whenever to just start doing these pieces, because I know if I don't start, I'll never start. I'll never finish, rather. Like this IP is just gonna be in hiatus forever and ever. And that's not gonna be, I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that at all. That's why I'm gonna do it on the stream, so you guys can watch me. You are my witness that I am working on my IP. And it is gonna, you know, take his long ass time to shape into something. That's what I count on. And it's what I want for you guys too. If you have a story, I want to hear it. If you have a comic, I want to read it. If you have a painting, I want to see it. Because it'll give me power. It'll give me motivation. It'll give me the drive that I need to work on my own stuff.
Can we try to bring back a little bit more of the overlapping the lines?
So,
I think we're painting too much over the original.
talent tree office is going to be set up soon.
Painting more
I'm gonna, as soon as that's done, within like a week, I'm gonna send you guys an address, and feel free to drop by. Because that's gonna be our home base soon. Meaning we're gonna have that classroom permanently. Well, not permanently, but like for now, permanently. And we can just hang out there, we can do workshops, sketch groups, gatherings, galleries, you name it. I have a lot of things planned. But let's start with the basics first, man. Let's just hang out, learn some art. And I'll see you guys very soon. Oh, Yumino, yeah, no, don't worry. You're doing really well. I can see that your progression in environments and you're understanding the techniques and major parts, which like me and Johnny would look at your submissions every week and we're like, wow, that's a lot of progress. We like that. But keep on going, man. Aluminum. Yeah, enjoy the robot talks. Yeah, one day they'll get us. One day, but not today. So we still paint. Definitely, Chen Bear Pig. I want to see your IP. If we get far enough, let's do crossovers, baby. Because I'll give you some hot girls to work with. And robots. We got robots. And as always, this is the Talent Tree Live. Our classes are starting this weekend. And I am your host, Frank. And I do this environment painting stuff. I do it every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And Johnny just got pulled away for work because Johnny is really busy and he's, what would you say? Johnny, what would you say yourself is?
Nothing. I'm a nothing. A vast multi-universe.
Johnny is omnivous. Omnivous? Fuck, I can't say
I'm
that.
an omnivore. Omnivorous.
Ominous. I don't.
Cosmic, and I'm vegan, and also I eat meat.
My English
I'm a
vocabulary
vegan.
is escaping me. Yes, yeah, you're a vast influence. on the world. And that does it. Hope you guys enjoyed this painting process. Let me show you the beginning real quick so we know I didn't just spend the whole stream painting nothing at all. I'm gonna close off the stream soon, but I want to show you where I started so that you have a context of what I'm doing. One moment, please. Honestly, you guys might like the original better. I'm just saying. Okay, here. So this I really liked. I liked it enough that I wanted to paint it in more depth. That's why I spent the stream kind of going over it, playing with colors, playing with lighting, playing with everything. Omnipresent, thank you, Aluminum. You're a genius. See, I can't say that. Calamity Johnny. Yeah. Johnny will be known as Calamity Johnny. And that's it for the stream. Thank you very much for joining us. And this is Frank signing off. Talent Tree Live, join us again on Thursday for Johnny's character design, painting, and critiques. Have a good night, guys.